Hey everybody, this is Robot here from vespa.motorsport.com or scooterwest.com and vespa.motorsport.com. That works just as well. But Vespa Motorsport here in San Diego, that's our dealership. Here I got a 2018 Vespa GTS 300 in the new metallic sand color. Very sharp color, looks cool. Kind of a classic color, but has kind of a modern flair to it is my take on it. Ironically, I painted one of my old cars kind of a similar color. It doesn't have the metallic in it, but kind of wanted something different. And then sure enough, it's a pretty cool, hot popping color. Vespa comes out with it. But off to installing the most popular upgrades we got available for the front of this Vespa. All these upgrades are very, very simple plug and play installation. They're all lighting upgrades for the front, which kind of have the most effect, and I'll go over these three upgrades that we're going to put on this 2018 Vespa 300. First, this is our most popular product that we've been selling for several years. This is the most recent version. It's MI200-GTS. It's a 4th generation light kit. I have a standalone video on installation of this. Replaces both these turn signals that normally just have regular old incandescent bulbs with white LED running lights and a very bright yellow LED turn signal. Very simple to install on this 4th generation one. There's some complication with some of the prior kits that we had, and I simplified it to make it as easy plug and play installation as you can get for that product. Very popular upgrade like I suggested. Next one, that if you're going to ride at night or just want more visibility, is a LED headlight upgrade. Stock on this scooter, you're going to have just a regular old incandescent bulb. They've been making these style bulbs for like 30 or 40 years. They've been popular in bikes. Well, you look at every brand new car going down the road, it's got these really white, kind of a cool white looking lighting on it, and usually they're all LED headlights. The LEDs have gone a long ways. We've tried several different types to find one that fits perfect on the Vespas, and we made some special modifications to make this kit truly plug and play and simple to install. The hardest part is just removing the plastic up here. Part number on this is LED H4-IA, and it's a direct plug and play fit for any of the GTSs, the 200 all the way up to the latest 300. Nice, easy to install kit that we have available. The last electrical upgrade we're going to do to the front is put a USB jack in this left-hand side to complement the RAM mount that we're also going to put on the scooter. Most of our customers, they want to use their phone for navigation or music or whatever when you're going down the road, checking text messages. Everybody, everybody does it, even though you shouldn't. We're going to put a USB jack here. Well, it's all well and dandy that Vespa includes a USB in the glove box on most of the new Vespas, but I'll tell you the big problem with this. You got to snake the wire through the glove box door. It's great if you want to charge your phone and just leave it in the tray. And I also found that it charges the phone at a very slow rate. This is capable of supplying up to 3 times more current for a lot of the modern phones that can fast charge. It's a 2.1 amp charge rate, while the built-in one can only supply a ½ amp. So very worthwhile upgrade. We also make a harness to install this kit. Complete plug and play kit. So the harness to install the USB and the knee pad is PP11, and I think this is PP6 is what the USB jack goes for. Only a few basic tools are needed to install this kit. Just an assortment of regular Phillips screwdrivers. I got various sizes to make the job a little easier. The newer scooter, I'm going to have a T25 and T30 Torex, also included in the toolkit in the scooter. I got an X-Acto knife, a small pair of diagonal cutters to cut the zip ties, and to remove the mirrors you're going to need a 17mm wrench. The last kind of tricky tool is I have a step drill bit. These are available from places such as Home Depot, Lowe's, Harbor Freight. And they're very handy to have. I figure you might have an investment of buying something like this, but you'll use it on many other applications. And this is for drilling the very large hole for the USB plug. If you don't want to drill any holes and you just want to buy a complete replacement panel that has the built-in USB, we do have those available, all pre-assembled and ready to install, nice and easy. So this 2018 doesn't even have the mirrors installed. If you were going to start this job on your bike, you need to remove the mirrors. Next, you want to remove the badge. I carefully installed a small flat-bladed screwdriver and gave it just a little pop to pop it off. You don't want to twist with a screwdriver, otherwise you'll mar up the paint finish in there. You need to remove this front horn cover. A single T25 Torx is found on these newer scooters. Older scooters of Phillips. Pop it up. I know I did that really quick, but you can watch plenty of my other videos that show how to take that all apart. Right below the headlight, there's a single T25 Torx screw that looks much like the one that was just removed. Two ways you can go about holding the fastener. You can magnetize or put grease on the screwdriver, or as I'm doing, I'm just putting my finger on there. That's how you hold it. Otherwise it drops right down here and goes in the abyss of the scooter frame, never to be found. Nah, you could fish it out, but if you don't need to lose it, just that's the trick you want to do. On the back of the scooter, there's two fasteners that hold the handlebar cover. And this is the same found on all the scooters. They kind of, I think they're in a slightly different location based on the year. Screw there with a small washer and a second screw with a small washer. Now the handlebar covers can be removed. You can see this thing wants to lift up, and in here there's tabs on both sides, and the tabs on these new 2018s are located here and here. The old ones were located up here, and they have a different type of cover. But I get my finger in there and I just kind of pull and just work your way to the side, and you can see the little engagement points for the handlebar plastic tabs there. So unplug your headlight, just pull straight out. We'll go ahead and pull this little rubber doohickey out, don't need it. And I'm going to set this aside. Next, I'm going to remove both turn signal lenses, a single Phillips screwdriver, Phillips screw, a number 2 that is. Nice and simple. Remove those 2 screws. And we'll go ahead and remove the left pad as well. A single T25 screw. And the nice thing about this little tray, you can use as a little hardware storage tray. Works pretty nice. So you're not scratching your floorboard with fasteners there. So remove both turn signals. You lift up from the bottom and then pull straight down. And you can see the tab on the top. Stick your nail or a small screwdriver, push the tab and disconnect the connection. Pull the bulb out. It's a bayonet style bulb. You can discard those old style incandescent bulbs. Again, set the turn signal aside, push the connection, and disconnect. You can leave the rubbers if you want. I like to do a cleaner installation, so I'll remove the rubbers. You just see you pull them right off, no big deal. All right, so let's prepare the left-hand knee pad for installation of both the flasher relay and the USB jack. So I'm going to use a sharp X-Acto knife and cut through all these little tabs. There's, I think, 7 of these tabs here, or a little bit more than that. What am I thinking? Doesn't really matter. I just got to cut them all. And you can even leave that in there. So there you go. And now you have access inside the panel without removing the complete glove box. So in here, about right up here, you'll find a flasher relay. And I'm just gonna pull it out so you'll see what it is. It's that little guy. And I just pulled, this little rubber doohickey goes into a metal bracket and it just pulls right out. So then you could separate the turn signal flasher from this rubber suspension. Again, the flasher relay is no longer used, so you don't need that. So we'll start with installing the components of the MI200 GTS kit. First of all, there's the included LED compatible flasher relay. It looks identical to the flasher relay that was removed. I'm having more technical difficulties removing this from the bag, I think, than installation here. But that's my problem. You go ahead and pop it into the suspension along with that little tab there. And we're gonna go ahead and connect it, but I'm not gonna put that back in place. And included is two LED bolts with special connections. The one that has two connections is gonna go on your left side. This one's gonna go on your right side. So here is my right turn signal. And you push these two little tabs and make sure that's secure in there. Then you make the connection, the single connection, listen for the little snap. You can tuck the wire and we'll also have to make this second connection. And you'll be able to fish this wire right through. All right. And we can put that back into place and secure it with the screw. You know, if you're unfamiliar with taking these apart, a little tip is you might want to mark all the screws. The problem is I've been playing with these things way too long. I like playing with them, okay. But I could pretty much just notice all the screws and know where they go. And sometimes I take that for granted, just kind of throw them all in a pile. People are like, well, where did all the screws go? Well, gotta look around. So repeat with the left side, all the same thing. Pop the connection. There's an extra connection. This female little well looking connection, kind of feed that up towards the front of the frame. And the other connection will make inside the glove box. So again, secure this with a screw. We're nearly done with the turn signal kit installation. I should have looked at the clock. I'm kind of curious how far I'm into it. All right, and you could just tuck that down there. And back to the back side of the scooter, we have the extra red wire that was removed in that last step. So we went ahead and pulled the red connection with two red wires leading to it. And on your turn signal flasher, there's going to be a white wire and also a blue wire. And I went ahead and straddled this this little posi lock connection here. And you just straddle over the wire. I think some of my other installation videos, I go into more detail on how to install that. And now you can make the single connection of that terminal to that the white wire. So it makes a nice positive connection to the white wire up there. With everything apart, you could check the operation of everything here. Looks like my turn signal on the right's working. And the super bright running lights are working great as well. So nice to check your steps. No harm when the power of everything's off. You know, it's all low voltage. There's nothing you're gonna do that's gonna damage anything. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and install the relay. And this little rubber spike will go back through the bracket. So kind of before you remove it, look up in there and figure out how it goes into that. You know, I'm not telling you how to figure it out, but you know, pull it through the thing, and you can aid the installation with like a needle nose or a pliers. Of course, it's a little hard when I don't have anything. And there it is. It's all secured in there. So next, I want to feel around down here, and this USB jack right here, it will come out as well if you wanted to, but there's a black and a white wire going to a connection that looks identical to the connections that we're gonna splice for the USB power. So you're gonna look for connections that look like this with a black and white wire will look like that, and I think one side's got a white wire, and you'll go ahead and find those connections and disconnect them and put this in between. So I'm gonna go ahead and reach in there and find the connection. And again, if you have a lot of difficulty doing this, it might be just best to pull this thing off. You know what, actually I'll just show you how to do it. I usually can do it without pulling that off, but pretty simple to remove. So I'll take the extra step so you have a better visual on how to do it. Two fasteners under here, T25 Torex. And this little guy just lifts right out of the way. So there's this connection I was just talking about. And it's secured by a little clip right here. And we'll go ahead and interrupt the connection. And you'll plug one side in and the other side in. So no wires to cut or splice. You just tuck that right in. And we'll go ahead and pull this up through this slot right there, and you could resecure this whole fuse bank that I just removed. For the USB installation is find the ideal location. You could do it right in the center or off to the side. I kind of like doing it off to the side, and it needs to be within this well. Kind of add a little customization to the job. So I'll just go to town and install it. Kind of start the drill slow. I don't even know if that's the right size yet. I think I need to go bigger, but I'll double check the USB. Yep, maybe 2 sizes larger. Oh, nice. That's a good tight fit. That's good. So tight that I got to thread it through the hole, but that's okay. You don't need that little trim that fell off. That's not important at all. It's got the ring nut. The other thing that's important is you want to close that up before you install it and put the rubber flap up and get that centered. This is the wing nut that holds it. You can just do this by hand. And on the back, there's a plus and a minus. So just like a battery, the black goes to your minus and the red goes to plus. This draws so little power, there's no, the circuit that taps onto can completely support it. Has a green or a blue LED that indicates it's on. You could cover it up, out of mind, out of the way, and there you go. Instant USB power. And it's held with a single screw there. Now off to the LED headlight. So with the headlight assembly, you have this retainer ring that holds the bulb. And you just unscrew it a little bit, it snaps out of the way. You could pull the bulb and the retainer right out. Included with the LED kit, there's going to be two bags. One is of the LED bulb itself, and a specially modified ring that works best with the LED kit. You could see this socket, or this base, has one larger tab. And the larger tab goes right at the 12 o'clock position. And also, you might note that the wire comes out the bottom right there. So, installs just like that, no big deal. Next thing is we're going to go ahead and put the rubber on. It's kind of an optional step, but I'd recommend installation of the rubber. Just kind of keeps some of the dust and moisture out of the headlight. Normally it has the prongs that go in there. You could carefully trim this all the way around. You know, it doesn't need to be too clean. Just, you know, get rid of that little prong thing there and throw that away. And now you have the dust guard. And it's possible to fit that right over if you cut the hole large enough, right over all that stuff. Next part is these copper webs. They're heat sinks, and they dissipate the heat. So you kind of spread them out. And there's no other electrically live metal things inside the headlight that are going to make any connection to these. So don't worry about those, you know, like about their metal. They're not going to touch anything, have any problems. You know, just go ahead and just spread these all out and kind of like in a cross positions like that, and there you go. Last part is the ballast, or you know, it's a current regulating device for the bulb. You know, the LEDs are very sensitive to the voltage that they receive. Nice thing is they're very efficient, so the bulb displaces much less heat for how much light it puts out. So that's a good thing. It won't wear out your reflector as quick. Is what I like to do with this little ballast is just tuck it up into that little side right there. And I'll get 2 zip ties and secure it in place. So you can snake a zip tie right through this little mounting boss for the headlight assembly, and do the same right up here. So we got our single headlight connection that will be right on it will be on the right side, and I'm going to go ahead and clip the excess zip ties right there. And support this without rubbing it on the bodywork. I'm kind of cradling the whole headlight, you know, the whole front of the headlight. Makes a nice positive connection there. And we'll go ahead and just, in the reverse order, snap all this back into place. Pop the singles screw on the front. And I found that these headlights are pretty nice quality. The AIM, or the LED, whatever you want to call it, not element, but the LED dye, or I don't know, whatever they call it, is pretty much in the identical location that the incandescent filament is. So they have very little glare, and the headlight AIM will be nearly identical to what the stock incandescent bulb. You'll just have a lot more light where you need it. Got the 2 screws on each side. And these new 2018 headsets are they're engineered much better than the old ones. They just snap together a lot better, so. And let's see how everything works. So we know the USB works. We know the front running lights are working, and I'll go ahead and start the scooter and we'll see how the headlight looks. You see it has a lot more light when there's when it's on high beam. Now I'll turn the scooter off so you don't have the noise, but it doesn't glare much. Obviously, if you go down the line, you know, you can see kind of the level of light, but anything above it, there's not much glare. So. And the last part, snap that on, single screw. And voila. There you go. And for the average do-it-yourself mechanic, I would say this complete job shouldn't take you more than 45 minutes. Pretty straightforward job, as I suggested. Hope everybody likes those nice, easy, simple mods. There's no trying to figure out wiring. There's no trying to figure out some other universal kit will work. I mean, you got a lot of people that's like, oh, I'll try something else. You know what? Never works. I spent a lot of time developing this stuff. It all was easy plug and play, made it pretty affordable for everybody. Hope everybody likes it. Subscribe to our channel if you like the kind of videos I put out. See everybody next time. This is Robot here. Vespa Motorsport, scooterwest.com here in San Diego. On Instagram, Vespa Motorsport. Robot's Instagram, Robot Vespa. Until next time.